Hi everyone. Okay, so this is our first, that was our 0th video. This is our first video because that's the only way to count. I'm Sam, this is Dion, Jim is somewhere in the room around here. And
probably coding.
We are gonna have our first conversation, the basics of robotics. There's a lot of terminology, there's a lot of little concepts that everyone assumes everyone knows. So let's chat about our little guy again. You've got him working, you've got the camera working, you've got the wheels working, you can ride him around. Now you want to build a map, right? You either want to explore a room or you've got a CAD model of a room, and all of a sudden things get massively real, right? People are talking about, give me some terms, give me something.
Poses, odometry, rigid transforms, Lie algebra, and on and on and on.
And variables and factors and SLAM. And you're like, well, hang on a second. I just want to build a map and drive a robot around. I want to do navigation. So we're here and we thought the first thing we want to talk about is these terms, what these things mean. Where's a good place to start?
I think a factor graph. What is a factor graph?
Okay.
So robots don't understand English or a human language. So we need some way to communicate what we want the computing system to do. A graphical language is a really good and easy way to do that. And that's what factor graphs are. They're a language. You describe variables and factors of the problem that's busy growing based on sensor data, etc.
Good point. Okay, so a factor graph is a way to explain to a robot effectively something spatial.
Yeah, so it's spatial and so much more, but it's maybe easy to think about space first. So think of a robot moving, if I could take that. This guy is driving along. We want to build a time history of a position here, and then a position here, and a position here. These are poses, and we add those into the factor graph as variables. And then the information from the wheel encoders, these wheels turning, those create odometry factors between. The camera sees things. So the objects are variables and the camera measurement are factors to those landmarks, as we call them. So it's this graphical language by which you build out, you describe, it's a language, what data, what's happening, what are the events, and the data associated with it.
I'm going to try my absolute best at this point to superimpose a factor graph over here to show you what this would look like. As our little guy, I'm going to name him George because we need to give him a name because he's officially a prop here. As he's moving along, you want to build a map as he's driving along. And that map is encoded to the robot as a factor graph, correct?
Correct.
Every time you say he's moved a certain amount, you put a variable down, correct? That's called a pose. And you connect poses or variables by factors. What do the factors mean?
So factors are that bit of algebra. It's the measurement function. So if you know the wheels turn 3 rotations, and you multiply the scale, it may be moved 20 units in distance. Right? That little bit of algebra and that stochastic measurement, that piece of probability of that describes this distance, that gets baked into a factor. And there are different kinds of factors. As I said, camera might be some kind of measurement. And there's so many more. There's such a long story to tell about factors.
Hey guys, what are you talking about?
Well, at the moment, factors. Well,
Factors? I was just working on issue 328. That's adding the new factor.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll talk about adding a new factor and how we have lots of factors in a future video. But fundamentally, I just added a new one into the cloud.
Cool. What can we do?
Yeah.
I hope that was an easy experience.
Oh yeah, you just took the code that you wrote and then plugged it right in. It's great.
That's great.
That's the summarized version. It's much better. Chaos, and then that's the answer. Okay, so we were chatting about what a factor graph is. These are good terms to talk through.
Right.
To get people started. We have, I really hope this works, by the way. We have an example of George's little drive as he moves forward. And Dion has explained a little bit about how you encode what he did as time history into a factor graph and what variables or poses are and how you link them by factors.
Right. But how do you deal with like sensors aren't perfect? How do you deal with that in the factor graph world?
All right. So predominantly, there's a lot of Gaussian assumptions out there about how your data, you know, it's not perfect, but it's sort of maybe in the category, and we can do a lot to solve those. And the problem would escalate. So when you build your factor, you can say, well, maybe the wheels are slipping, or maybe something went wrong. So very easily, and in the real world, there's a lot of uncertainty associated with, I know the measurement model says that's what it looks like, but you know, how would you actually mathematically deal with that? So what we're trying to do is make that easy, that switch from, yeah, you can solve a Gaussian, but then build your way up to something way more intricate or robust.
Whoa, so I'm going to scroll back 2 seconds because this is a good point. This is a good topic. Okay, so let's just work with the kind of the counter of that. If I knew exactly how he moved, right? My factor graph would be remarkably simple, right? Because he moved a foot. He moved a foot. I put a variable down, I put a variable down, I put a variable down, and I link them by factors saying he moved a foot, he moved a foot, he moved a foot. And I measured that because of the odometry of the wheel, right? Good so far. If there's no graph above me, I failed at post-production. If there is, we can continue this conversation. Clap your hands if we can continue this conversation. Good job. Okay, cool. So that is a perfect factor graph. Variable, 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 foot, foot, connecting them, right? Mm-hmm. If I have perfect information and there's no error in this, I always know where he is, right? Right. If I don't, because nothing is perfect, then as I move, I lose, my information becomes less and less certain, correct? So at the heart of all of this is,
as you move, perfect information, it's definitely where you thought it moved. With imperfect information, maybe it's there, maybe it's there, maybe it's there.
And the camera sees another one, and it's confused.
Right. So factor graphs help us to reason about these problems.
So that's the important takeaway is, in factor graphs, when you're encoding these positions and these movements, you're putting your best guess, but Daniel mentioned Gaussian right off the bat. Why?
Gaussian's a good start. And that's when things, your models, your mathematic models are perfect. So that's a good way to start building systems. But if you, as you deploy them, just careful the mic, thank you. As you deploy them, a robot driving up against the wall is definitely, the Gaussian behavior in your assumptions is gone. If you dive into sand or onto a carpet, it's gone. That's an easy example, but there are many more.
That's a very, okay, cool. So let's use the wheel slippage as a perfect example, right? You said about driving on sand. I'm measuring odometry here, right? And everyone's like, yeah, but I have pretty good measurements of my odometry. Odometry is the wheel movement, right?
I was going to ask, what's odometry?
Oh, yeah,
right?
great. Okay.
Another buzzword.
Another
right?
buzzword. The objective here is to de-buzzword the buzzwords. Okay. So odometry is the measure of the wheel as it rotates. If I have perfect measurement, as my wheel rotates, I know exactly where I am. I turn 3 degrees and I move forward another foot, right? There's no such thing as perfect measurement in this world. There is no such thing. So sand is a beautiful example. You're driving your Roomba on carpet. The more it drives, the carpet moves, the sand moves. I move 3 degrees off axis than I think I did. And all of a sudden, I'm in a whole different portion of my room. That's why you build factor graphs?
Factor graphs make it really easy to write those uncertainties down, right? As you think about this, the math gets tricky. What factors allow you to do is write little sort of molecular pieces of the bigger problem that are easy to understand and standardized. So one application may have this style of growing a factor graph, and you can use that molecular piece and it's easy to understand. The other robot has a different challenge, so you build a similar kind of graph with a slightly different set of factors. So the software libraries and the front-end sensor processing are very similar. You can reuse most of that, but the result, the computation that comes out, can be very situation dependent, and that's the real benefit.
So I noticed your robot has a camera. I gotta go to do some more coding, but what's this little thing on the mug and why does this have a camera? Maybe when I come back, we can talk about that later.
That sounds good.
It's a good plug.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Take it easy, Jim. If you break the build,
I won't break the bill.
okay.
So join us in our next video where we talk a little bit more about cameras and how we can use April tags to inform the vector graph in addition to wheel odometry as an example.
Perfect. So video number 1.
Yeah.
Factor graphs. It will be in every video beyond from this point forward. We'll be discussing these and a lot more topic. The one key takeaway, at least from my understanding, a lot of when we've had these conversations, is it's an encoding of your motion through space as a set of variables and factors so that you can represent it for the robot for solving. And it always contains some measurement of statistical noise.
It's a language to go between humans and computers, and you need some kind of solver to solve it. And you generate this graph based on the data and events that are coming in.
That is a much better way. Yeah, that's a great way of
All
putting it.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Join us again. Like us and subscribe.
Sounds good. Oh, we nearly forgot ICRA. ICRA, 23rd to 27th. That's the International Conference of Robotics and Automation. It's kind of like, if you like robots, that's where you go. It's like the CES of robots. Is that the way of putting it?
23 to 27 May in Philadelphia.
Yes, we'll be doing a tutorial on all of these things. So if you like this, or if you don't like this and you want to come yell at us a little about our terminology and our discussion, either way, come join us. Great.
Cheers.
Cheers.